What's up? This is Draco.
And this is Alicia.
And you're now tuned in to OD
Podcast.
Oh,
Period.
I'm just stirring my tea, child. Don't mind me. You might hear my cup clank, but it's just
Speaking of tea, I need to. I'm past. I try to take my boo boo tea by 7.
So you really take that every day?
No, not every day, but I'll do it. If I feel like super bloated, and I want to start a diet.
To take it, but to take it today. But I have a long day tomorrow.
Yeah, you don't want to do it. No, honestly, I don't drink it much, but if I know I'm about to start and a movement. And I feel bloated the day before or the day of, I do it just to do it. Because honest to God, growing up, I did have a food processing issue. Let's just say that. And but I've gotten very regular lately. Anyways, all right, that was a wild way to start the episode off.
No, it's not. You got a normal functioning body.
I don't want to hear that, but Happy New Year.
I do, because I be wanting to know what'll be going on. Anywho, Happy New Year.
Did you bring in the New Year?
Stayed in the house for the second year in a row.
This is probably year 33 in a row for me. Just you know what? I think I've only gone out twice for the New Year. I did the peace drop once, and then I went to a situation that I don't want to repeat because I am still friends with those people, and I shouldn't be after that situation.
Moving on.
But I'm gonna charge it to the game because I do think they are a decent friend. It just was a very complicated situation.
Got you. I get it. I feel like I went out enough in Atlanta. That was the whole goal of Atlanta, to see my people hang out. Because I think
I did see you.
Yeah. I think that was just my goal in general, just because I needed to feel the energy from my people. My people, you know what I'm saying? Like out here. No, just like my friends, my family. I will say that this was the first year that I felt like we had like a really good Christmas. My family was there. They all participated. Everybody wore pajamas. We had so much fun. My sister got a new house, and it's so nice.
Oh, really? Same side of town?
Of course.
That's her hood, honey.
My God. I was like, I had to have a talk with her about that because I don't live in Atlanta no more, but it was just so difficult for me to get there because, for one, I don't have a car, and she lives literally 11 miles from the highway.
Oh, that sounds like when I lived in Tucker. Let me tell you something. That's literally the reason why I'm stuck living where I'm living right now, because I got to be off the highway, and specifically
11 miles. I'm not exaggerating.
Oh, I believe it. That's how, to me, people who buy a house in South Fulton, like Fairburn, like down there, they just want a house to say let me not say that. That's not true, because you can get a house out there off the highway, but I've been to some people's houses like off Buffington Road or whatever. I'm talking about right turn, left turn, right turn, left turn, cul-de-sac, roundabout, right turn, left turn, U-turn.
See, and hers is literally straight. Like, you literally don't go no turns. You just ride straight for 11 miles. I think that's
insane. My God. I went to somebody's house in Covington before, and it was like that. It's a few places in Atlanta, in Georgia, like that. Fayetteville is one of them, and Mableton.
That's where she stayed. She stayed like Fayetteville area. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah.
Can't do it.
So weird. But
and how far is her job? What's she doing? She don't mind.
Everything. Their life is on that side of town. My sister been in Clayton County since I was 5 years old. So her whole life is over there.
Investment properties in Clayco, but they actually don't went up a little bit.
Yeah. So I did enjoy that. I did go out, got some new tattoos. We had a little grill fiasco with you.
Heck yeah. Oh, that video don't went. I got more followers on TikTok than IG.
Cause TikTok, it's more interactive. And people come on there for a specific reason. You either laughing or you learning something.
People follow for no good, but I ain't even had to prove myself. They're going to be disappointed when I don't post for another 365 days.
I'm dead. But yeah, like, I ain't do nothing. I did go out the next day. I went to this party called the Do-Over. And we have those in Atlanta. So I was like, okay. But I remember that I went for my birthday this year. And it was so much fun. And it did not disappoint. It was a day party, which I love. The day parties is like a summertime thing in LA, but that's what we do out here. I gotta say we now because I'm a resident. But
you saying that with your chest after leaving Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean, I have to. I live here at this point. I am one with California, so especially I got them tags on my car. I live here. I'm a resident.
Right. You paid the price literally.
I pay exactly. So yeah, no. So that was really, really fun. I really enjoyed myself that day. But today I spent the whole day because I did clean up before I left Atlanta. But when I came home, I had to unpack. I had to sort laundry out that I didn't sort before I left. And I didn't clean my room like I wanted to. So today,
So you brought the house in. You New Year in with a dirty house. Oh, you was already in California. Okay.
I brought the New Year in with a dirty room. But that's okay. The rest of my house was clean. But today I just decided to, make sure everything was like extra clean, extra neat. I organized my little closet over here. I went to Target last night, got like some clear bins and just started separating like my makeup. I cleaned out my kit. Only thing I ain't do yet is, I don't know if you can see behind me, my makeup brushes. I can't find my soap. My brush soap. I've been looking for it all over. You know how you clean up so much you hide shit? Where did I put it?
Let me tell you how I lost all my credit cards, including my driver's license, for 4 days. And on day 4, it was under my pillow.
In your bed? Alicia.
Mind you, I keep all
how
my
did
stuff
it
together
get there?
in a rubber band. Literally, my whole life, I don't even carry wallets. I just keep everything bundled together in a rubber band. I went to Publix. I bought some groceries. Right, I use a specific credit card. I get home. I look at my purse. I got one credit card in there, and it ain't the one I used at the grocery store. I only went to Publix and home. Lost my stuff. Didn't know where it was at. Literally did not cancel no cards because I'm like, it's either down the street or it's just gonna show up somewhere. Okay. And it was definitely in my bed. Ask me how it was there for so long the way I sleep. Don't know.
That's crazy.
I think that a ghost put it there. Cause what you mean under my pillow? But no, that's crazy. But yeah, I definitely have cleaned up and not been there. I actually have I have reorganized stuff and literally couldn't find something specific like a pair of scissors that I like to use and stuff. And that's actually irritating because you forget, like you tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna put this right here. So when I'm looking for it, I know where to find it. And then you forget right that moment. As soon as you blink your eye, you forget.
Yeah. I actually lose I don't lose my cards and wallet and stuff like that no more, like how I used to. But let me tell you something. This is probably the longest I've kept the wallet. Let me knock on wood. I've had this wallet. I literally got this wallet. I specifically remember the day. I got this wallet the day after we went to go see Travis Scott at One Music Fest.
Oh yeah, when Future let us.
Yeah. I still have that same wallet and everything in it. I have all the same IDs.
I still got the same rubber band.
That's crazy. Yeah, I can't. I remember this one time you sent me a picture of a bag of rubber bands. You said, "Look at all these wallets."
And for years, people like, "I'm gonna get you a wallet." I'm like, I don't need one. You think I can't get a wallet? I like to carry my stuff like this. It's just, but after this, once Apple allows Georgia to put their driver's license in the wallet app, right now it's only 3 states. I'm not carrying nothing. I'll carry 2 cards because if I go to a restaurant, it's difficult to try to use Apple Pay. But other than that, child, I don't want to carry nothing ever again.
The shirt I got on right now is so cool, but I'm not leaving the house in the shirt. Like when I bought it, I was in a different mindset, and I was like, you know what, this is kind of cool. I like anything that's rebellious. So even if I ain't gonna say I necessarily don't support it, but if it's gonna be like something that is gonna make people like double look, sometimes I'll be like, it's not that serious.
Until they think you selling that box.
I know, and it's so cool.
No, his shirt says horny.
And it has and it's diamonds, and then it has like horns and stuff on it to, it's like an oxymoron, I guess you would say. But I don't want to wear this out the door. So I just took a shower and put this on just now. I had to wash all them cleaning products off my body. I smelled like bleach. I've been cooking every day, y'all. I'm so proud of myself. So
you said what?
I've been cooking every day since I've been home.
Oh, that's good. You like washing dishes? I cook every day too.
I really don't, but you know what? I just bought a whole 100 pack of paper plates. They're not the biodegradable ones, but so don't kill me. But it's only me in here by myself. So
do you meal prep or do you literally cook original meal every day?
So I get tired of food. So I cook. It took me a long time to learn how to cook small portions. I know that sounds so crazy, but I always overcook. So I be having to eat leftovers. Yeah. So now I literally buy stuff like tonight I'm making like the thin Korean short ribs. I only got 3. Because it's only me. I literally only got 3 from the store. So I'm gonna make that and some rice. Like I'm gonna make it like pepper steak a little bit, some Brussels sprouts. Yeah. But I cook enough just for me. And then like I'll just do shortcuts. That's why I don't make cooking videos no more, because I'll just literally season it, wrap it up in foil, and put it in the air fryer.
Yeah, sometimes when I cook, I just do enough to survive. I'm like, anybody gonna see this?
Yeah, like everything I gotta be cute in my head. I think that way just because I do want to kind of start making like cooking videos and stuff. But, child, I'm just trying to eat right now.
Just eat so your stomach don't be knocking on the door when you wake up. I had one thing I will say about living alone. A lot of food definitely gets wasted, even if you don't intend for that to happen. Because the way certain food goes bad so fast. Or just I mean really just that. So you'll buy something and you want to hold you can get like I got a big bag of Brussels sprouts the other day. You can't just get Brussels sprouts, at least not at Publix. I'm sure if I go to Whole Foods or somewhere else or a farmer's market, but a bag of Brussels sprouts like $2-3 or whatever the case is. But I'm probably gonna eat some Brussels sprouts for maybe 3 days and I'm gonna be over it. So now the rest of those Brussels sprouts, they go bad, they get soggy in the refrigerator, or I can cook them and they still gonna do that anyway because they gotta go back in the refrigerator. So it's one of those things where you gotta I'm gonna start shredding them in a food processor and then maybe I can freeze them. I doubt you can freeze them.
I was just about to say that I freeze my own fruit. I'll go to the farmer's market and since I go to like the little local one, I don't know if that make a difference or not, but your food be going bad in 3 days. So
yeah, like it's non-GMO, it's straight out the root.
Yeah, so it be going bad like 3-4 days. So what I do is if I buy fruit, I'll just keep out what I want and then literally freeze. Like I have a huge bag where I just dump frozen fruit in there. So I have like pineapple, berries, all kind of berries stuff in there, and I just throw it in a smoothie thing. So I always have fruit for a smoothie because of that.
Yeah,
so I start doing that with my food, with my vegetables as well. But the problem is when it comes to stuff like cabbage and Brussels sprouts, when you freeze it and you try to thaw it out, it is a weird texture.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I just thought about I only freeze kale. Kale freezes well.
Yeah, kale, spinach, corn, carrots, stuff like that. Yes.
The thick stuff.
Yeah, but like leafy stuff, like real thin leafy stuff, cabbage and all that stuff, it turns slimy. Like green beans, no. Ugh.
Yeah, unless you throw it, maybe if you throw it in a smoothie, but I feel you. So, let's get into this week's episode. Who you got for Black Business of the Week?
So, on the topic of food, I've been like really enjoying cooking lately. So, I follow this chef. His name is Brandon Gouveia. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. What's so crazy is I used to be friends with him on MySpace. So, he kind of like, I don't know him per se. I never met him before.
He was a MySpace freak.
Okay.
She's a MySpace freak.
So I met him. Let me stop saying I met him. I haven't met him. I know him from social media, from MySpace, and then like he like resurfaced recently, and I follow him on Instagram. And he lives out here in LA, so I've seen him a few times out. But he is a chef, and I get a lot of my like cooking and drink ideas from him. What I do love about him that makes him different from other chefs is that he gets creative with his food, but it's not like in like a do too much way. And what I mean by that is that people get on Instagram and they come up with their own recipes, get creative, but usually I'm always seeing stuff like Hennessy lamb chops, Hennessy hot honey.
And it's like, does this even taste good?
And I respect that because realistically, it probably do. I ain't never had it. But that doesn't sound like something that I want to make. And so he makes stuff like garlic sweet potato mash.
Okay, yeah.
Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, wait a minute, I never thought to use sweet potatoes in that way or make them savory instead of sweet. So I really do like how clean his food looks. I like how he makes a lot of stuff from scratch. Like I even made some cranberry sauce from his recipe for Thanksgiving. Yeah, Thanksgiving this year I did. But yeah, check him out. He is a professional chef. Everything looks good to
When
me.
you say professional chef, does that mean he went to a chef school? Or
Yeah.
is he okay? Because
Hmm.
I'm really hate that the people are calling themselves chefs and they don't even have the accreditation.
Yeah. He's actually a chef. Like he's a real chef.
Good
Now
job for
that
him.
yeah, and he is also a content development chef for a brand called Meter Made. It's
Okay,
like
like
a
the people that give you a ticket.
meter as in meat. So it's like
Oh, I like that now.
MEATER. So what it is a thermometer for your meat, so you can never go wrong if his, see if your meat is done or not. So he is like a content creator because his food looks so like I think that it's not even the food for real because a lot of stuff he make is like very basic or just like traditional stuff. It's
Hmm.
the photos.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's really. And to think about the restaurants you go to and the most mid plate you had and how pretty it was plated.
Yeah, like he come like the way he be dressing up his food, I just be like, okay. So yeah, Brandon, if you listening to this episode, please be my friend. So whenever you have dinners and stuff, I can be invited. I will bring whatever I need. Uh but yeah.
All right.
I think
As
I sent
always,
it
I
to you.
put
I sent it to you again, but his Instagram handle is Brandon Gouveia. I hope I'm not butchering his name, but I think
maybe it's
that's it.
Gouveia or something like that.
Maybe. Maybe.
So I'll put the information in the episode notes as always. What in the world do we want to start off with first?
First of all, let me just say rest in peace to Gangsta Boo.
Oh my God, I've been blasting 3-6 ever since that day. I forgot how. Oh my, I'm not the type to get involved in long relations.
Man,
Why take you
man.
clapping by your gifts? I'm sorry, I'm not on that too. That was spitting.
Let me tell you. So I had a so first of all, let me just start off by saying that I can have my nephew and nieces vouch for me on this because they used to get sick of me. I used to play 3-6 Mafia so much when I was in middle school, like 6th, 7th grade. I should not have been listening to that stuff
We
because they
all
were definitely rapping about like drug usage and sex. That's the first time I ever heard of somebody getting a butt ate, and it was a dude. Like Project
listen.
Pat
Yes,
was rapping.
I learned about lean because of them.
Yes, everything. Like,
And
and the
now
thing,
looking back, I learned about cocaine too, but didn't even realize it.
yeah, no, for real. And the thing about them is they rapped about doing the drugs, not selling them.
Openly. They was not
Yeah,
using no
they
metaphor.
was not hiding nothing.
Yeah.
I've always had like a level of respect when it came to Gangsta Boo and the chat because they were literally who they are. They a lot. I think the problem that I have, I don't even have a problem with it, but I think that people feel you a little more when you can the raps that you're talking about. That's really your life.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's why people like the City Girls are so successful is because you believe them.
Yeah. No,
They
I
literally
agree.
like
They tell a story.
yeah,
That people
they
listen.
telling a story that they actually went through, and that kind of that helps you relate to them. I think that's what Gangsta Boo did. She literally rapped about her life, her image, everything about her, which is very authentic and true to Memphis and that whole style and everything. And she never changed that. I remember when it was in 2010 or 11. I did my first celebrity client. It was Iggy Azalea, right? And so when I did her makeup for a show. She performed at Graveyard, which is no longer in Atlanta, sucks. But she performed at Graveyard Tavern. They always had like little local underground artists perform there. And what's so crazy is, and I thought this was so insane, and I was kind of pissed off, but whatever. Gangsta Boo opened for her, and at the time, Iggy Azalea wasn't like a big artist.
Wow.
I'm looking like this
That's
the legend right
audacity.
here, bro. Yeah, like what is going on? But anywho, when she got off the stage, because we ended up going to the show, me and Zay, we went to the show after I did her makeup, and like I had at the time I was smoking weed. And so Gangsta Boo got off the stage and literally walked over to where I was and passed me her blunt. Now, I smoked it.
Did it
I
smoke
probably
you?
shouldn't have. I probably shouldn't have, just because I don't really be knowing what people put in their blunts. There's no shade to her or no shade to whatever, but I know now that I'm way more cautious about doing stuff like that. But that's just a cool moment.
I feel it though. I feel you. It's like if Snoop Dogg was smoking. It's like,
yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Like if Rihanna offered me a puff for her blunt, I'm not saying no.
Yeah.
God forbid that it's cracking there, but I'm gonna just not go to rehab when I leave.
Or ask for some more. No, I understand that. I didn't realize how much. I mean, I definitely was 6th, 7th grade. I definitely was like peak 3 6 Mafia for sure. And I remember when Peppermint Music was in Greenbrier, and they were either gonna do a CD signing at Peppermint or it was gonna be a Circuit City, but I think it was Peppermint. And so I had planned to go, and I had cut out this picture of them from like a magazine. I think it might have been like Ebony or something like that. And I was like, this is how my mind. I've always been like obsessive about details. I had cut out a silhouette of them, glued it to a piece of construction paper so it can be sturdy, so it can last for a long time. And then the rest of the paper above the silhouette that I glued it to was gonna be where they signed their name.
Oh, that's fine.
But I never got a chance to make it. I hate that though. Looking back, it's just so funny though because I really had a plan. But you 3 6 got a catalog, man. I don't feel like I've even given them enough deserved attention over the last several years.
No, like for real, if you even a lot of the songs that are remade, and I always name Project Pat when I'm naming my favorite rappers because I always listen to Project Pat. Yeah. But a lot of their music and the style, like even when Megan had first came out, that's what made me like her is because she rapped similar to how they did. Like her like approach to rap and her accent, I guess you can say, it sounded very, very similar to that. Yeah. And so even the way they say their words, because people from Memphis and Houston and Dallas, they kind of have like the same, that her, their, stuff like that. They talk like that. So I don't know. I know that a lot of the music that come out now is sampled from them, Juicy J, Project Pat, all these different people. So just to see this happening, it was just so random and sudden. It's just insane.
And it's crazy because wasn't it last week that she dropped the song with Glorilla and Lotto?
Literally.
That's crazy.
Literally. Like she had just dropped the song. What's so crazy is after I found out that she passed, I just started looking up like interviews with her, and I watched an interview with her talking about Glorilla and her friends and just how much she supported them and how like they reminded her of them. Like when they came up and her friends and her, and she was like, it was just me and Chat for the longest coming out of Memphis, and she doing it the right way, and I love what she doing. She's so humble. I like her friends, and da-da-da. She was like naming all of them. So she really do, support them. I think that's very important.
Yeah, especially, given the time. I'm so grateful I got a chance to see 3 6 perform at One Music Fest. I think that was 2019. I only got like one short clip, and she's in it, but she ain't rapping, but I'm glad I got it at least, because I'm like, dang, I don't even know if that opportunity would have ever came up. Because I think they was beefing. They wasn't even doing shows together.
Who?
Wasn't 3 6 beefing? Or she was beefing with them?
Yeah, they not I don't know if they were necessarily beefing, but they weren't on good terms for
that's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, they weren't on good terms for the longest. I think that her and LeChat always been in a good space, but I know that they did have like some mess going on.
Some mess going on, yeah. Yeah, rest in peace, Gangsta Boo. It's really sad though, because music has changed so much, and there might be some people that would say that out of Saturday Night say something like 3 6 Mafia isn't relevant, but obviously it's relative to how old you are. But to me, 3 6 passing made me think about like all my favorite artists. Like, dang, like everybody's getting older, and not that she died of old age, but it's like it's just weird. It's just like, dang, I was a child listening to their music, and they were like superstars, you know what I'm saying? And you can listen to 3 6 catalog, and you can literally hear the quality of the music change as they got bigger and bigger. Like they had the basement sound and audio. Then they had.
I don't even think that people realize like how big Juicy J is as a producer.
Yeah,
a songwriter, and just as an artist in general. A lot of people from this generation don't even know his prior work.
Hasn't he produced for Megan?
He produced for a lot of people. Like big name artists. Like he's done songs with Katy Perry, all different types of people. So it's like I'm glad that he's able to thrive and still have a career. You know what I'm saying? But it's just I like wow. I just didn't realize like for the longest like damn like they have a really big impact on the music industry, especially
Yeah, it's really sad.
southern music.
Memphis always had the talent too. But it's
Yeah,
sad. Recipes Gangsta Boo, definitely an icon for especially for this generation and even the generation before because we were kids and they was been stamped.
exactly. All I got to say is don't let that happen to Trina. Y'all need to give Trina her roses.
Baby. Oh my, don't say that. Can you take that back?
I'm just saying.
The
I'm just
one,
saying in general. I don't need that to happen. Like,
but I
like
think Trina gets her flowers. Though, I will say,
no, not enough. I'm sorry.
yeah. But from the perspective of who the younger generation, because I don't think that counts.
From rap in general, I feel like it's so many people that speak up for people from who impacted the industry from back in the day and all this other stuff. And I feel like Trina is never in a part of the conversation, especially with the older women too, because she it's not even that Trina was one of those people who just was not in the conversation. She did songs with all of y'all, and so when y'all be bringing her name up and stuff like that, I mean, when y'all bring up people's names and like the impact, y'all never bring her up. And I remember this one, and I remember this one time I felt very weird about this. Trina and Nicki Minaj's relationship with each other. Now they're cool. They're both Sagittarius, so they probably can relate to each other. But it was this one time they had the BMI Awards in Miami, and they were doing a tribute to Nicki Minaj and had Trina doing it. Excuse me.
I mean, is that bad though? Are you
Why
saying
would you ask Trina to do it?
I get what you're saying.
Why would you ask Trina to do to?
Yeah,
She literally got on the stage. She did. She literally got on the stage and performed "Moment for Life."
Oh,
Nicki Minaj song
yeah.
for Nicki in the audience. It was so weird. Like that was just so weird. I can specifically remember like one of the earlier songs from Nicki Minaj. The line, "I wish I had a booty like Trina." This is before she got her butt done. So this was like way. That just blew me. I'm sorry. And maybe I'm thinking too deep into it or whatever.
Yeah,
but
I don't think it's a big deal, but I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I don't like that. They be trying to look girl.
I've been Team Trina since Trina been Trina. I remember
that's what I'm saying. I remember. I ain't gonna call them names, but I remember it was some people I ain't f with like that. But we had to sit at the lunch table together in 6th, 7th grade. And I remember when that one Trina verse came out, if he can't achieve it up, then eat it up, put a cherry on top, whip. They would sing that every day. They would sing that every day. That made me go home and listen to it. Because what are y'all singing? What are y'all singing? Why all y'all know the song?
Oh my God. I love Trina. I love Trina down. I got some really good pictures of her. One time she opened up for Monica. 2 of my girlies. But yeah, man, I agree. But I can understand that. Definitely give Trina her flowers. I guess it don't look like that to me because I that's my girl. She ain't never got to speak another word. I'ma still be speaking all the words she ever spoke.
First of all, you've been quoting that same Trina line for the past 14, 15 years. This is insane. The same one.
Out the blue. Unsolicited. All right.
Like,
speaking of female rappers, Tory Lanez was found guilty for shooting. Well, let me be correct. Tory Lanez was found guilty in relation to the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. The only reason why I say that is because this was Tory Lanez versus the state of California. And it was not, did you shoot Megan Thee Stallion? And this is not trying to be opposition. I'm just telling y'all what the court said. He got charged for possession of a gun. He got charged for shooting irresponsibly, and he got charged with somebody getting hurt or shot as a result of shooting irresponsibly. I must say I did not read those charges until he was found guilty, and I think that it would have changed my irritation with the case from day one. Because for me, I felt like they were trying to prove that Tory shot Megan Thee Stallion, and in reality, it was not that exactly, not literally. And even now, I'm even more confused because I listened to that jail call with Tory and Kelsey. And when the case ended, I felt like Kelsey shot the gun, but then hearing the jail call, I'm like, well, did she? I don't know.
I don't think she did. And let me tell you, what sealed it for me was the photos. Because now that this evidence is coming out, everything that Kelsey said in that first deposition or whenever she did her first statement, it looked true.
Yeah.
Now, when she was saying that he pulled her hair, he drugged her, she literally had bruises all over her body.
I just saw it a couple days ago. Yeah, that was my first time seeing
her
that.
knees were scraped up, bruises from like her thighs, her shin, her arms. Her hair was literally pulled out of her scalp. So everything that you said the first time, that had to be true.
Definitely given paid off, because why?
Yeah.
That's pretty but that's why I didn't understand why even Megan was I mean, now looking at the charges, I could see why Megan may have felt like it wasn't necessary to share those details about the fight. Even though I don't think it was helpful in the public eye, even though the public wasn't a decision maker in this case. But even Kelsey, I'm like, wow, you definitely got paid off. Because what are you doing?
That proved everything.
Yeah,
and that,
I agree.
for me.
Yeah, I agree. I feel the same way.
He literally said in that thing, like, oh, he shot over the door 4 times, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tory shot it. I'm sorry, he did it.
Yeah,
he has a background of him being so aggressive and violent and abusive. That syndrome. This is literally like, how can you not think that this man did that?
Yeah, well, I agree. I never doubted that he did it, but I definitely was team I wasn't there, so we're gonna wait till the court case roll out. But I feel like I learned more after the case than during the darn trial.
That evidence was insane. Even
I'm glad they didn't release it until after. It's annoying that they didn't, but at the same time, I'm glad that they didn't, because people are already. I mean, honestly, I don't know where I stand on that, because I think that
I feel like they should have, because that would have probably saved face from Megan, because she just didn't want him to go to, like, you know, she was trying to keep it low key, because I think her doing that was her acknowledging her involvement in the situation. Because if I didn't do anything, or if I didn't have nothing to do with it, take him out of here.
Yeah.
But she was like, even though it escalated to where it did, I know where I stand in this situation. So for me, I'm just gonna.
I get what you're saying. It's like, if you feel like if she was just like a random girl walking down the street and she got shot, and it's like, get him out of here. But because it was like a multi-layered situation that occurred, you feel like she probably was just like, you know what?
And she didn't want that. She knew how much that would be impacting on her career and her, you know what I'm saying? So she tried to keep it, behind. So that's probably why. But I know she probably just sitting back looking at Kelsey like, you just.
Yeah, Kelsey is not a good friend. Megan isn't either, no shade. Well, she wasn't a good friend to Kelsey. Let me not say that. I don't know how she is with her other friends.
Yeah.
But it's a terrible situation. I'm glad that it's over, and I'm very interested in seeing. When is his sentencing? Like the 16th or something like that?
Oh, I'm done with it.
Definitely given deported.
I look at it on I listen at it on the iPod.
On the iPod. Yeah, it's crazy though. But yeah, I just wanted to say, I definitely feel like I wonder why the DA thought. I guess I don't know, maybe because he was on probation. I don't know. Either way, I'm glad it's over. I'm glad that he was found guilty, because now it's very clear of his involvement in the situation. Seeing that video of Megan and Ambulance crying was very sad. I can't even lie to you. I'm like, dang, this is crazy. This is, you know what I'm saying? But as far as me, I'm just glad it's over. No shade to nobody involved.
Yeah, I am justice for Megan. I hope that she is able to recover from this, like, literally.
Maybe when she pop out, it's going to be up.
Yeah, and then she just won a first round in that other case too, because they weren't trying to count her mixtape as an album, which it was, because it was, to me, a mixtape is when you use other people's beats. Or if you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that whole thing was.
Yeah, the fact that mixtapes can be found on DSPs now is weird, because it's some future mixtapes I literally had to download that piff or whatever the other apps is to listen to. So I feel like if it's on Apple Music, it's an album.
Yeah. And he was trying to deny that. Carl was, just because he was trying to, of course, prolong her contract. But the court said, baby, it's an album. Leave her alone, because she had a 5-album contract with him, and that was the one. Traumazine was her last one with him.
Yeah, so she could literally get on a track and say bye, and that junk gonna go quadruple platinum. So he really want whatever, and I think it's probably best that she don't drop music until after this trial. just so he
yeah,
don't
for sure.
get no benefits off of it.
She kept saying that too. She was just like, she was telling her fans like, once this is over, we gonna, I just don't want to be wasting all my good stuff on this.
Yeah,
so I'm
I
just trying
agree.
to
I
put some
agree.
stuff out.
The last album actually was fire. But yeah, it really is sad. I don't wish, getting shot on no goddamn body. I'm glad it was not worse than it was. Because we could literally be talking about what used to be. And for that reason I am grateful. So all right. I got a long list of notes here. I don't know what you got, but I sorry. I lost my train of thought.
Or did the train of thought lose you?
The train, was I silent or was I silenced?
Mm-hmm. Y'all remember that fake doctor?
I knew you was about to say something about that.
This man only get 2 years in jail.
Well, for some people, being a criminal is unavoidable. Like, he literally is a lifetime scammer, and he's been there since he was a kid.
That's crazy.
If y'all don't recall, Dr. Love actually opened up a doctor's office. I think it was in Florida, and was actually seeing patients.
Yep.
And then he got out of jail, and now he's in prison. He just got sentenced to 2 years for basically he was working for a trucking company, and instead of transferring the payments for these clients to the company account, he was transferring them to his account.
I just found out recently that some luxury apartments in Atlanta, the people be renting out empty units and taking the rent money through Cash App.
Yeah, you didn't know that? People be selling keys. I literally know someone who's probably listening to this show right now who did that. And when it finally got caught, the rent office had to treat them as squatters. They couldn't even make them get out yet. They had to actually evict them, which bought them like another 60 days.
That's fine.
My thing is, when people do that for real, how long? You got to be living life on a run. Because how long you think you're going to get away with that?
Yeah.
Empty units is
and you can't have no furniture because ain't no way in hell you finna be having 4-month apartments like that have a lot of furniture.
Exactly. And this has to be happening at like privately owned apartments, because companies, you think of like MAA or Post or whoever, they have software. Like, is there a way for them to override the vacancy? Like, I don't understand. But yeah, I know a maintenance man sold him some keys. Now, I don't know how they were paying. I feel like they pay him a one-time fee. I'm not sure. But, you can get electricity and stuff turned on. You don't need no lease. You just need an address.
So, where do I even start? So, the other day, I was on Facebook, and I saw a post about some about barber prices, right? Mm-hmm. And for me personally, I was looking at it like, this is cheap. It just, adult cuts $50, adult lineup $25. What, in my head, I'm like, wow, this is really cheap. Because when I was in Atlanta, now granted, I went to a barber that cut like NBA players, rappers, all these type of people. So I knew that the price was going to be a little bit more expensive, but I knew that I wanted my hair cut a certain type of way. I like my beard cut a certain type of way. My barber was from Philly. And if you are familiar with men from Philly, a lot of them have beards. So that's why the beard thing is very, very, very important to people from Philly. And he insane. And he was older. My barber was 50 years old. He been in this game for a long time. He know my face.
A veteran.
Exactly. He cut my hair for 10 years. So I've been with him through about 7 or 8 price changes over the time. But I never really complained because I get it. Like, as you get better, as you start to be less accessible, you're not going to be running to $20 haircuts when you got people paying you $2,000 for a haircut. Now, granted, he's not charging me the $2K, but that's just what they're paying for that service. He getting them. They fly him out to the arenas to cut the bar players after the game or before the game or whatever they be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. But he know that he come back home, ain't nobody spending that type of bread. But of course, $80, $90, people can afford that. I'm fine with that. I will pay that. I will pay you a deposit, whatever. And it sparked up a really big debate on Facebook. First of all, and this is no shade to anybody who uses Facebook on a regularly, but I do realize that Facebook is a dated app. Like, people on there are usually not really up to date on a lot of things. Now, granted, I do learn a lot of stuff from Facebook, or learn about a lot of stuff on Facebook, but Facebook reminds me of like your hometown. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
gives
yeah,
like
yeah.
everybody that just never left your hometown.
It's the people you don't see as active on the other apps.
Yeah, like that's what it gives to me.
Yeah,
So when
I agree.
I don't know what world they living in, but people were really attacking me for posting that, talking about they would never pay $50 for a haircut. I'm like, what year are you living in? Because people were literally saying like, oh, I paid $25 for a haircut. Here's the thing. Now, I kept trying to explain to them like just how grocery stores, gas stations, all these places that we need, those are businesses that we need, and the prices are going up. So if somebody whose full-time job is a barber, of course, if things are getting more expensive, then you're going to have to raise your prices, or whatever. You cannot tell me that in 2023 now that people are legit paying $20 a haircut and living off of that without, i.e., selling drugs on the side or whatever their side hustle is. Let me not just assume that they sell drugs, but I'm just giving you an option because I know a lot of barbers back in the day that were selling weed on the low.
Yeah.
But and it frustrates me because I feel like when it comes to those type of things, from my experience, a lot of people don't take that serious because it's looked at as a hobby just because we enjoy it and it looks fun. Like, oh, we're doing hair or makeup or whatever. But this is our life. Like, just because we have a job that we didn't have to go to school for 8 years for, doesn't mean that we're not deserving of that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if we're being honest, this service is something that is optional. You don't have to go to a barber
at all.
They sell clippers
it's the convenience at the store that you're paying for.
Yes, you don't have to do that. You can go to the beauty supply store or a Walmart, whatever. Get you some clippers, get you some razors. You can even buy the hair fibers yourself if it's given Beijing beard, whatever. All of that is sold in stores. You can get it for under $100, and now you got free haircuts for life. I know people like that. I know people who literally. I have a friend who literally started a barber career like that because he didn't want to pay a barber. He learned how to cut his own hair, and he got so good at it that he started cutting his friend's hair, and then boom, now he's a whole barber making money. So I hate that people always diminish that. Like, it's like when it comes to those things. Now, granted, I do feel like some people do be just taxing just because, and then they are not professional. The tools be dirty. They're never on time for their appointments. They smell bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I pay attention to stuff like that because I've had so many barbers that I've like gotten my hair cut and they fingers stink.
Ew.
And you have to like touch my
balls.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's so many different things. I would not be paying you $120 and you can't even go wash your hands at the sink before you cut my hair or wear gloves.
Yeah.
So it's, and I get it. I don't know. I just don't think that it's fair that people do or say things like that, considering the fact that we have to live life. Like, we can't. I understand that you probably don't want to pay more than this. I get it. I don't want to spend money on nothing. If I could just exist for free, I would. But I can't.
I agree. I understand. So as a woman, there are I don't know about men specifically, but women, we have almost hundreds, if not thousands of different hairstyles we can get, and the prices vary dramatically. And half the time it's not even based on how long it takes to do the style. It's just what people want to charge. So when I was in high school, obviously that was back in 2007 when I graduated from high school. I can get a silk press for $35, $45. $45 was on the high end. And so today I pay $100. I pay double what I did 10, 14 years ago. I would be dead wrong I shouldn't even feel right paying my hairstylist $50 for a silk press.
Me.
And on top of that, this is what it is. This is what I think it is. So number one, it's not a regulated industry, right? So people really can truly charge what they want. Now, if you don't like what they charging, just don't go to them. Good luck. Just try to find somebody else that offers a level of service that you do like, right? Yeah. But there is a quality and skill set where you just kind of gotta come on now. Like, okay, in Atlanta, this the thing with Atlanta. It's so many people doing the same stuff that they see you charging one thing, they want to charge two regardless of the quality of service. And so basically what I'm trying to say is you have to consider the supply, like you said, the supplies, where they doing hair at, the quality of service, are they on time, are they professional, do you get what you looking for, do they listen to what you got to say? And if you feel like they charging too much, then I just don't.
Cut it yourself.
I think I'm having a brain fart right now. What basically, people that provide those type of services deserve to live a quality life. Now, it's not up to me to count their pockets to say, oh, like, for example, people can say, oh, the average cost of living in Atlanta is this, and that. I'm not going to be like, oh, she should only charge this much because the average rent is this much. Whatever that person feels like they should charge is what they're going to charge. Now, whether you pay it or not is between you and Bank of America, Chase, or Wells Fargo, whoever else you with. But I just think that you just kind of, I don't know. I just don't think it's fair to tell people. It is, I have a right to be irritated because everybody high. But I also have to respect that people are charged what they feel their service is worth. Even if it's not really worth that. If it wasn't worth it, I wouldn't be paying a cheap price.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I don't even want to name prices.
Just because people can name their own price that people don't like it. Because if there was like a law that said $50 haircuts,
yes, I think that's what it is. But people do things off what they deserve. Okay, I'll drive this certain car. Not saying that that's your fault or that you should pay for it, but I also provide a service and the professionalism for this service. I went to get training for this. Like, it's different with barbers.
And if you've been doing it for a long time, if you have like I do feel like as if I was somebody that provided a service, I would consider my skill set, my experience, what I have to offer. But and then if I got to a point where I've been doing hair or whatever service for so long and I have a consistent clientele, I might go up and not really care about retaining clients because I have my people that come to me. But unfortunately, people see that people with tenure are charging a certain amount and they want to charge it too. And that's just the world we in. Not saying it's okay because I don't think it's fair. But again, booking with them is what enables them to continue to charge those prices that you feel are not fair. Somebody feels that way, that it's okay.
Yeah, it's lame. I just don't. I hate that. I love to. And the thing about it is, what I see a lot when it comes to people in the beauty industry, the barbers get treated so bad because like it's easy for you to see like a girl on Instagram that sell hair and is a hairstylist and she balling, drive a G-Wagon, got this, got whatever, and people like inspired by that. But the moment that it's a barber, they be like,
they think a haircut. How long does it take to get a haircut? Like if you didn't have locks, how long did that take?
30 minutes, 30, 45 minutes. It doesn't take that long.
So I think people are upset that folks are getting $100 an hour.
Now I pay more for my haircut because I get enhancements. I'm allergic to hair dye, so I can't dye my beard gray. So I get like hair fibers and I get like dye airbrushed onto my fucking thing.
So I think the problem is people are counting their pockets. That's really what it is.
It is. And people do me like that. I specifically remember, and my have the tables a turn because baby, they damn sure paid their price. But I spent Christmas Eve one year with a very, very, very popular reality star from one of the Bravo shows, and also another well-known person. I got invited through that person. So it was just us three. And we got on a conversation of makeup and how much I charge. Now, at that time, this was years ago. Mm-hmm. At that time, I was charging $125 for a face. Now, at that time, I'm like, that's decent. That's good because I feel like I'm making enough and it's not like too much over what, most people are charging. It was around the same, whatever. These folks was chastising me so bad at that table. Like they was going back and forth talking about, I would never pay over $60 for a beat.
Great. Don't book me.
I would never pay that. Ain't nobody paying that in Atlanta. I go to so-and-so. He do all these celebrities and he only charged me $50. I'm like, well, that's him. I said, I'm not going back. What does that look like?
Imagine working at a job and getting paid the same thing year over year. Now this is what I will say. I do think that I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No, you didn't.
Okay. I do think that as you continue to do hair, cut hair, all that stuff or do makeup over time, you will get better. But I think that just charge what you want.
Do it yourself or get somebody else to
You
do
are
it.
literally paying for the convenience. When I go to get my hair done, let's say I'm getting braids, I got my work computer in there. I'm knocking out meetings. I'm getting stuff taken care of. If I gotta do my own hair, my arms cramping up. I gotta reach over my head. I gotta set up a bunch of mirrors. I genuinely get it because I am a consumer and I have complained about prices a million times. But just like I complain, I just kept swiping. That's really what it is. It's like people in corporate world, people get into these interviews and they ask for crazy amounts of money. And I'm not totally against that because if people have a budget and they're willing to pay it, then they will pay it. But if you don't have the experience needed for that job, you can't get mad if they don't want to pay it. It's the same thing is in that industry. If they got the budget to pay for your service, then they're gonna pay it. But if they don't feel like your service is worth paying that much, then they're not gonna pay you. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
I get it though. And in Atlanta, it's so easy to come by that because so many people here suck in the customer service department. I think that adds to the anger. But I read them comments, and every last one of them people in them comments got nerve. I'm like, of course.
Me. I'm like, why am I here? Like, why am I even responding to this stuff? I just didn't like,
Yeah. And then, some people also feel like, and I mean, I'm not totally against it. Some people feel like they shouldn't charge a certain amount if they're doing a service out of their home. But I have been to some people's home where they have converted their home into the salon. And it's like, what, besides the fact that they sleep here, like what exactly is the problem? My girl Sky did it. Baby, she got a legit salon in her house. Like, I swear to God, like it's actually a salon. Like that junk is so fire. I'm like, dang, am I at the salon loss or am I at your house? Like you literally wouldn't even know. But I have also gone to people's house where there was roaches crawling out of a box of pizza, where they was yelling at their kids, arguing with their baby daddy. There was an actual fight going on outside the front door. So, I just think, I say all this rambling to say if it ain't worth it, don't pay it. That's it.
You're acting like I'm forcing you to pull the money out your pocket and hold you at gunpoint.
Right. Why do you think companies have these big sales? They need to get rid of inventory. They went down on the price because they need you to buy it. The same thing.
I be having clients telling me my price is too low. How's the person paying me telling me I ain't charging?
There's always somebody willing to pay the price. That's what it is. And you can't expect to be the people you know. Thank God my hairstylist has a good, consistent clientele. She ain't one of them. She don't do the gimmicks and all that. But I tip her even when her prices go up because she is literally the best natural hairstylist I've ever gone to in my life, and I mean that. All right. What else want to add to this topic before we wrap this thing up?
I ain't really got nothing else to add. I just want to tell y'all to stop. We've had this conversation a few years ago when Super and all of them got online and they were discussing the makeup artists and how much they were willing to pay and all this other stuff.
The whole time they were paying for ads. They getting paid for ads and they want them to cut a check.
Y'all be getting paid $32,000 to go stand in a section in the club and pop bottles.
Mm-hmm.
So
and get there late.
$32,000. I don't mean 100.
Yeah, I believe.
I mean thousands. So I'm not complaining about that. I actually be like, charge more, because I watch people like Kim Kardashian in her early stages. She was charging $500,000 to host a party in the club like that. Someone Jada and
all get paid that lets me know how much money them clubs be bringing in. Because what?
Yes, that's what That's what I'm saying. Black people are deserving of that as well.
Yeah, you're right.
Period. I mean, unfortunately,
that's another thing too. People do not want to see because they undermine the cosmetic services. So they don't.
These folks would not look like this. They wouldn't be the stars who they are if they did not have the right team, and you have to pay for the look.
I agree, and it's literally a skill. I could barely wash my own hair. You think I'm about to trip? I have paid my hairstylist $40 to wash my hair before I go get braids.
Like, I watch one of my friends sit here and like I have friends on each scale. So I have a friend that's a DJ and he gets paid $450 to $500 an event, and I also have another friend who gets paid $17,000 to DJ for 2 hours.
Guess what?
Literally,
They proved themselves.
you see what I'm
When people
saying?
start talking about what sets you apart, you better have your spiel ready.
You just move on. You just in the wrong room.
Yeah.
And then like another thing is when people see that you do elevate to those spaces and get in those rooms and get around those people, and you start making that amount of money, or you start being around people who, you know, are big in the industry or whatever the case may be, people always like, oh, I guess you only do celebrities, or I guess you only do blah blah blah. And it's like, no, but this is the type of money that I want to make, and that's how I gotta make it. So what is the problem? Why is that an issue though?
I will say it does seem like certain people only service celebrities only because there was a point where we were not able to access the same hairstylists and makeup artists that celebrities could access. So I think that sometimes people might think that, like, if I didn't know you, I would definitely think that. And but you know, obviously I know better now, but I can get why people think that. I will be honest. And I also think that they might feel like, oh, your prices must be insane if you mostly work with celebrities and stuff like that. But it's just because we're waiting to view those people.
Just ask.
True, you're right. You're right. Just ask. But I think we're in a just ask climate now. But in reality, looking back, we was not about to get Tina Knowles to make us no bodysuit.
Okay.
So something I want to talk about, this is not really a topic per se, but I mentioned it on my Instagram before, but I want to talk to people about high yield savings accounts. So a lot of people, they talk about building up their savings and have money put to the side. They sitting on all this money, and a lot of times they have that money sitting in a checking account with their bank, like Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, yada yada yada. But high yield savings accounts are typically an online based savings account that accrues dramatically more interest than a regular traditional bank. So for example, Wells Fargo return rate could be 0.04%, which means and these numbers could be, actually I'm going to actually go to my Instagram highlights. Oh, okay. I'm not going to tell you how much money is in this account, but I'm going to just compare it. I'm just going to give y'all some numbers. Okay, so for example, I have a Wells Fargo account that is 0.01%, and I have an American Express savings account that was 1.0%. Now that American Express is now at 4.0%. So now it's 4 times more interest being accrued than it was before. But I'm just going to tell you this. At the time that I made this post, my Wells Fargo and my American Express savings account had the exact same amount of money. And over the course of 1 year, I earned 97 cents at Wells Fargo and I earned $34 at American Express. Now, that might not sound like a lot of money, but if you're going to have your money sitting somewhere, at least maximize the opportunity to get some extra cash. 30, that's enough money to fill up my gas tank, truth be told. So if somebody just walked up to you at the gas pump and was like, this one's on me, look at it that way. It's the same concept. Now, the cool thing about high yield savings accounts is the interest rates that you gain are based on the economy. I think the lowest interest rate I ever had on my high yield savings account was 0.45%, which is still significantly higher than my fixed Wells Fargo interest rate. Right now, I'm at 4.0. So we went from 0.5% to 4% interest. Okay. And now oh God. No, because some of y'all might be good at math. I have made a lot of money on my high yield savings account. I have had enough money that I probably didn't have to pay for gas at all the whole last year, for real. Okay. So all I'm saying, if y'all are going to have money sitting somewhere, please, 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 please look into high yield savings accounts. Again, I'm with American Express. There's Ally Financial. You got some with Goldman Sachs. There's a lot of, you can literally Google it. There's no tricks to it. It literally is. The only caveat to a high yield savings account or these type of high yield savings account is there is no physical bank. There is no physical card. So if you need to access that money, you will need to transfer it. But if you have a goal of just saving money for an emergency, please, y'all, please put it in a high yield savings account. I still have money in my regular savings at Wells Fargo that is not accruing much money, but I have significantly more in my high yield savings account because I know for a fact that I don't have any intention on touching that money anytime soon. And when I do, it's literally a transfer away.
Yeah.
Please. I actually put the link to my high yield savings account in the episode notes. You do not have to use the bank that I'm with. I'm just telling y'all because it is some free money out here. I don't care if it's $20 for the whole 2023. That's $20 that you found on the ground just by existing versus 20 cents that you would get that won't even that's the change you will walk right over.
I appreciate stuff like that because you put me onto the target circle. So
Woo,
like, yeah,
baby,
like last,
I got down with that.
I'm not like before I moved here, I lived literally behind the Target or in front of a Target. So I would go to Target a lot. I spent a lot of money at Target, and so once I used that Target circle, I remember one day I went to Target and I had $30 in free money.
One point I was saving up for a free TV. I mean, it was accumulating that fast.
Yeah, I had like $35, and I'm like, that's a lot of money at Target. Like even last time I went to Target, and my stuff came up to like $26, and my little Target circle, I had $10 in there.
And
So
what's crazy, and then Target Circle is literally how credit card points work. It's the same thing. And in Target Circle, you only get 1% back. You can get 5, 6, 10% sometimes on a credit card. But Target and then Target Circle is always having promotions like like you get so much cash back for buying this. I be clicking the little discounts and don't even use them. But it literally works just like a cashback credit card. I do recommend y'all joining that too. Now, my situation, and if you can help it, get you a Target Red debit card. It works just like their credit card because you get 5% off of every purchase, which is the more than any of my credit cards can offer me. So I let that come out of my check. That's the only place I shop at with a debit card.
Y'all, I ain't gonna lie. I know this is off topic, but I like hanging out and I like doing stuff, but I really hate the fact that in LA, in order for you to meet people, like it's very old school, and I think that's taking me out of my comfort zone because when I'm going out in Atlanta, I'm going out with my friends, and more than likely they got a section. We chilling, we relaxing.
I know that's right, and they be fighting.
Yeah, and see out here, it's not like that. It's not given like section and all that. So I mean, some clubs are, but even still, it's given. They call it general population. I don't even like that. That make me sound like people are aliens. Like, oh, I'm in general population. Like that sounds so weird to me. But out here, it's very old fashioned in that sense because you literally have to go out to meet people. And these people really people come to LA for a reason. Like people don't just live here. You have to live here and do something because it's expensive. And people come out here for a specific reason, and we pretty much all work in the same industry. So, of course, you're going to go to a party, meet somebody, they work for a certain record label. They're a project manager. They started working with 3 new artists, just got signed to a label. They need a makeup artist, and now you just got put on to 3 new people, and you getting thousands of dollars. It just works like that.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So anytime somebody invites me to things, or when I first moved here, I would be like, girl, I ain't going. I'm tired. But lately, I want to say in the past like 3 or 4 months, I've been just going, and it has been very beneficial. Like I've met just people to meet in general, just like from social media, or whatever, and then I just meet people who I could work with as well, and they can like help me with certain things that I don't know. So it's beneficial. But I be tired. I feel like I'm weird around people if I'm not drinking, and I don't be wanting to drink. Especially like during the middle of the week, I don't like drinking. Especially
maybe this is how people in the industry develop habits because it's like you don't even want to do that, but it's like in your face all the time.
I don't want to drink. Like I don't even like. But I know that I'm gonna be so awkward and unapproachable if I don't drink.
I'm sorry.
Like if I don't drink, I'm gonna be sitting there just like.
When you drink
in my phone?
Yeah. What? Is it to get drunk? Like how do you feel when you start drinking?
No, I don't drink. So first of all, I have to relearn my tolerance because I lost 40 pounds and the liquor let me know a child. So before, since I was bigger, I could handle more liquor, and now I can't. But my brain is still in the old body. So
yeah, so because you allow yourself to keep drinking because you think you can handle it. Next thing you know,
then I'll be. It don't even be the next day; it be the next hour. I gotta go home. I can't be in no more. I'm too drunk. Like I can feel myself when it's starting to go left, and I will go home because I don't.
You drive home.
Yeah. Before it kick in, do that count?
No. Yes.
Don't drink and drive, people.
It's still under influence.
That is very true, but
Jesus Christ, I do not endorse this conversation.
Okay, golly, people do worse. Tory Lanez shot a gun.
Anywho, this is not respectability politics. A sin is a sin under God's eyes.
Y'all be fornicating before marriage, so stop talking to me.
No, my name Mary.
I bet. Anywho,
who breathe ya, Mary?
I gotta relearn my tolerance.
Yeah.
Like I can't have more than 2 shots.
Oh, child, I can't even smell a shot.
So but before I could do like 7.
You drink.
So just imagine me thinking that I could do 7 shots now, and I can't.
You drink
and then I do the 7 shot, huh?
You do raw shots?
Yeah, because it's more healthier. Like I don't want all that sugar and stuff. Like I will get a drink, but I don't be wanting all that.
A skinny martini. I'm just playing. I don't know about none of
the girls out here. So LA is just so LA. Like it's literally textbook LA. So the current like popular drink right now is an espresso martini. That's what the girls drink. I ain't never had one.
That would me to the bathroom.
That's what I be thinking. I'm like I don't know about y'all, but
coffee. Now that's the real boo boo tea for me.
Yeah. Coffee is definitely a natural
laxative.
It's not even a laxative. It's just it's like it regulates your bowels.
Maybe that's why. Okay, cool. That brings me back to the conversation at the beginning of the podcast. I think that's what it is.
So coffee does like regulate. Do you still drink coffee all the time?
Not all the time. I had some today. It was my first cup in a few weeks because I don't even drink it for energy. It doesn't do anything for me. I just do it because it curbs my appetite.
I think I'm gonna start back, but I drink tea. I'm drinking tea right now.
Coffee is very low in calories. You can have a whole cup. It's like 5 calories.
Yeah, so a lot of people out here are coffee drinkers too. Like that's a thing. But the espresso martini is like that girl out here. It's tequila in there, Bailey's, coffee, all types of stuff, creamer.
I can imagine liquor in my frappuccino. Jesus Christ.
Me either, John. I ain't really with it.
Oh, that's liquor. All right. So what you got going on coming up? What you got planned? Do you have anything you'd like to accomplish this year?
Oh, so I got to get this YouTube going. I need something else.
I'm going to play every end of the year episode of OD Podcast. And you going to say that. Okay, sorry.
I have to. Sorry. Like I really have to. I think Atlanta I was okay with just doing makeup, but here I need something else.
Yeah.
Like I need a few things. So that's definitely on the list. I got to get it started. I've been watching.
What is it going to take for you to just do it? Cuz you've been wanting to do this for
a camera.
So when are you going to get a camera?
When I get the money for it.
Okay. What was the reason before?
I kept losing the damn camera.
Okay.
I bought like 3 cameras and they all gone. One of them got stolen out of my car from valet. One of them I left in an Uber in Texas. And do
you have renter's insurance?
Yeah, but do that work if it's not in your house?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, because it's like homeowners, because even my homeowners insurance, if something was like lost, I think because my property. I could be wrong. Don't listen to me, but I know that if my
car was has to be from your in order for it to work, somebody would have had to break. They had to break in my car at home. Like I had to be at home.
You're absolutely right. No, you don't have to be at home, but it does have to be your property.
Yeah, so and the other one I lost in an Uber, so it's like I can't. I don't know. So
well,
that's the only thing. They're so expensive. Like those are like $700 cameras.
Maybe like Klarna or something.
Yeah, maybe a firm. Or I could just finance it through Best Buy. I've been saying I was gonna do that.
If you're gonna finance it, get a really good credit card with some great points that you could use in the long term. I wouldn't just use Best Buy because they tend to have higher interest rates, and there's no real benefits of having a Best Buy card once you pay out the item you bought.
Put me on, boo. But I've been watching De'Ara all weekend, today, even before.
Are fire, but she's starting to bore me. I actually unsubscribed from her channel last week. I just was not entertained.
I like her approach to YouTube.
Yeah.
I think that she has like a very authentic YouTube channel, and I love the fact that she just be so excited about everything.
I'm gonna sound like a hater, but when she be acting excited, it be seeming fake to me. But I think everybody lying, everybody fake, everybody lying.
Now I do be getting mad at her because she can't possibly think everything that she eat be good.
Oh
Everything
my
she
God, that's so funny because I'm like, girl,
she be eating stuff, and I be
she
looking
be
up like,
loving her
oh,
plain food. I'm like, baby, I don't rode business class too, and now don't get me wrong, it's good as far as the quality, but would not order it again. I mean, not it just don't slap for real. It's plain food.
she be getting like crazy stuff sometimes. And she like,
It
it's
was
so
too
good.
good.
I'm like, now, De'Ara.
That's
But
so funny. Even when she was in London, I'm like, I heard the food wasn't even good, but you over there having a ball. But she is greedy though. Not in the shady way. She love food. So
yeah, she love food.
yeah, I
So
can't.
that,
I started getting really bored. I really started watching her and Kent in like 2021. So I really
oh
joined in
yeah,
the end. So when they split, I did like her vlogs at first, but I lost interest. That's no shade to her. I think I'm really happy for her success and everything, but it's just not for me
I like
anymore.
her, and I like it's a couple, Rakis and Amai, and they live out here. They're from New York. They're from upstate New York, but they live in LA. And I like them. They young, but they have like a very wholesome channel, and I feel
Mm-hmm.
like it's very authentic. And I just like their videos. I look for like inspiration. Like, what the hell would I
Yeah.
make videos about?
It's funny you
So
said
that's
it
what I'm
because I
looking for
actually
now.
the algorithm.
That's all I'm doing now. Is just kind of doing like my research, uh, or whatever. But everything that I want to do this year, just business stuff. It's not really nothing too much. I do want a new car. I do want to travel more to different places. I just don't know where though, because I've been to pretty much every country except Asia and
That's
South
a
America
continent.
for real. There we go. Get me right. Been to every continent except Asia,
And
and
Antarctica and Australia.
I'm not going to Australia.
Well, you said every continent. Australia's a continent.
I'm not going there though. That's off. I don't think I don't. I actually, you know what's crazy? I actually been considering going to Iceland.
Please go. Please.
I want to go.
Please. 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 You know I'm an Icelander.
I want to go. But if I go up and make a real ghetto like Gucci Man,
Oh, he
I'm in
was
the
at a private.
lagoon.
I don't know where he was at. He wasn't at the regular lagoon though. That was private.
Oh
Your
yeah,
boy grew up in the Blue Lagoon. I went right
yeah.
after he made that video, but I had already booked. I'm this year. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting so excited.
No, I don't really have
I love
nothing.
Iceland.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to like put too much pressure on me this year. I just honestly just want to be more consistent and follow through with my stuff, like small stuff, like creating routines daily, like to keep my apartment neat and tidy. Because
Mhm.
sometimes I just get up and just go take a shower and just go out the door. So just
Don't
getting
feel
up in enough
bad. I do
time.
the same thing.
Getting up in enough time to like straighten up my room so I won't have to come home to a dirty room, or and my room don't even be dirty. I don't eat in my room or nothing like that. I'll probably eat some chips or some candy, but I don't eat in my room, so it's always clothes every time. Clothes and dust. I'm tired of dust. I'm tired of mopping. I'm tired. I'm tired of laundry. Tired.
I
So I need
love
to.
to
I don't.
mop.
I don't. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. I really need to. I need somebody to dust my apartment and mop. That's it. But
Now the dusting is annoying because if you got natural sunlight, you got dust after 2 days. Like you can write a whole book.
yeah, so I don't know. I just need. I don't know. I just need to build more like consistent routines that help me daily. That's all. It's like little stuff like that. It's not, and I feel like that alone will help me in um, my procrastination and stop putting stuff off to do, like this YouTube thing that I've been trying to do for five
Yeah, you should
years.
absolutely. I agree. Okay, yeah. My middle name is routine, and I will say it definitely makes life a lot easier. It perfects your memory and it builds your skill set. Like you just really can be in control of a lot of things. Now, when things don't go the way the routine intended, you might be a little irritated, but it's a lot better than just doing stuff on the fly. Trust me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This year,
Mm-hmm.
I pray to God I buy a house. I have to get up out of this condo. There's some things that have been happening that are starting to irritate me. And when I get uncomfortable physically, I got to move on. Just like when I always talk about before I ever bought my first car. Now, y'all, I grew up riding public transportation. I was riding MARTA everywhere. That was just how I got around. We did not have a car growing up. But it got to a certain point. I don't know how old I was. Maybe I was like 21, 22. maybe like 23 at the oldest. But I would get really irritated about riding MARTA. Like it just did not feel good, and that's what pushed me to get a car. I had to do it. I could, and I think it's because I had gotten my license at this point. So I'm like, I'm always ready to move to that next stage. And in my mind, I'm like, Alicia, you have the credentials. You need to make something shake. And I had to do it. That's how I'm starting to feel about my home. I love my condo. I say this all the time. I genuinely do love it. But there are so many other things that I want that I am able to access now that my mind is not allowing me to be comfortable with not having. So I just got to move on and get me a house. I pray to God that on top of that, I can buy me another investment property. I prefer like a duplex or even an apartment building if I can afford it. But I got to get that under my belt this year. Everything else is pretty good. I'm getting more comfortable at work. Maybe I'll go to grad school. Probably not, but maybe. Who knows? But definitely got to get a house this year. Definitely got to get a house this year. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I want to, but LA is, I don't know. That's
I don't
the
think it's fair to expect to own a house in California if you in any of the big cities.
Yeah, I just let it go. That thought for now,
like
until I'm able to make it. Yeah, I'm gonna let it go for now.
Yeah, ain't no prayer. Listen, you got a good situation going on. Do not decide. The South is completely different, where a lot of people own homes.
Yeah, it's much more of a thing. I get it.
Yeah, but I need a backyard from. So one of the reasons why I like my condos because we have a parking lot, not a parking deck, and not assigned spots. Because I like convenience, and when people come over, I don't want them to be like, oh, like in my townhouse. Remember how short my driveway was, and it was a 1-car garage, and you couldn't park on a curb. It irritated me, and I'm like, I got this big old 3-story townhouse with four rooms, and I can't even have. We only got nowhere to park all the cars. You know what I'm saying? But I have to, and it needs to be in the area I want it to be in. Let me just tell y'all what I want. I prefer a brick home, which, is not a requirement because I know how hard those are to come by, especially in Atlanta. I want a brick home with a 2-car garage, at least 1,600 square feet. I prefer 2 stories, but I'll take a ranch style home. I want a nice sized backyard, at least 0.35 acres for my dog to run around. I can have a decent front yard. I want big windows, nice, bright in direction of the sun. I don't know, east, west, north, whatever one gets you the nice natural sunlight. I want to be on a residential street close to 285, and I want it to be modern, updated with light wood floors, not panels. I want original hardwood floors. Thank you.
Can I just say that I'll be thinking that brick houses be having roaches? I think that there's no way to get the roaches out of brick homes. I don't know if it's the old home. I feel like you can
My house is a
fumigate it.
brick, okay, and there's no roaches in there.
Somebody in your building got them.
No, I'm talking about my other house.
Oh, I'm just saying. I feel like the roaches just live in bricks. I don't know what it is about brick places.
I don't like your energy.
I feel like when I walk into a place, no matter if it's remodeled or something, I'm gonna tell because I'm really from the hood. Now we didn't have roaches per se, so that's how I'm able to decipher what roach home smell like opposed to a regular one. Now they be trying to do these remodel homes in Atlanta and all these other different cities, and let me tell you what I do. I go straight to that dishwasher because you're gonna always smell the roach.
No, you take the stove out.
Take the stove out and take the dishwasher out, let me tell you something. I know when the house had cut the dishwasher on and you will smell it. It come out of the steam.
We had them roaches, baby.
I'm like, bro, this house used to have roaches, and I probably ain't never seen a roach, but I just know that a roach was here at one point.
Have you know that neither of my addresses have roaches. Okay,
I feel it,
and I utilize exterminators regularly, even because we get water bugs out here in the South. And that's one of them things. It was a point. I remember when I first had my place exterminated. Every single day there would be a new dead water bug in the same spot every day. It's like that's when the poison activated.
The house I lived in on the east side had water bugs because we were by a lake.
Oh yeah, you get water bugs and mosquitoes and termites. Maybe
the mosquitoes were so bad during the summertime.
The lakefront is so nice too, but.
Yeah, we were by a lake, and that lake was so nice. But we could never get rid of the water bugs because of that. And we
Well,
had
I
a summer.
basically live in the woods. We got coyotes, owls, water bugs, foxes.
This
You
why I be
name
wanting
it.
to stay in an apartment for a long time. Just give me a high rise condo and let me
Yeah, it's
live. But
lower maintenance like that. It's
there
actually a
is
peace of
no
mind. But
place, and I don't remember seeing roaches crawl to no 32nd floor of a building.
well, yeah, it's not, if the person on the 31st floor got them,
How they brought them in there themselves? They planted them
they
there. They say
trap.
pet because there's no way that it got up here. How I
No,
get up here?
there's definitely a sense of convenience having a condo, but I don't had a condo since 2017. I'm ready. I mean, at this point, and I don't bought a house. I just don't live in it. So it's like I might as well get my own.
That's true.
So I'm ready for it. I'm my dog, and my new second dog. I'm just I decided
Yeah,
not to
you
get the second dog.
tripping
I
with
do
that.
still want it, but not in this condo. So
You tripping. I actually been considering a pet recently.
you try to talk me out of getting one. That's crazy.
I I want a lizard. Oh my
I
gosh!
want a
I
cat and
watch.
a rabbit.
I follow a lot of um I follow a lot of reptile pages just because I really do want a lizard. But I watch like snake videos and just how you feed them and how you feed lizards, how you take care of them. Like I'm looking at one right now, and this guy's feeding snakes these huge ass rats. These things are bigger than guinea pigs,
Absolutely not.
and that's insane. He has so many. Ah! It fell out. I'm sorry, but yeah, I literally just watch all this stuff, and now I want one. I just know that I can't. They had a reptile festival in Atlanta before I moved. I was so mad I ain't go, but I was gonna go and just kind of like ask questions about it. How do I go about buying it, and what do I feed it? I have to buy like heated lamps for the lizard. It's so much stuff. So I really want to get one though, but I'm not. I did want a chameleon, but they die. So they so fragile, so I'm not gonna get it. I'm just get a bearded dragon.
Yeah, it's traumatizing losing a pet. Trust me. Well, I definitely want a second dog for Hazel to have a playmate. She has a lot of energy that she isn't always able to get out 24/7. And I think that having a playmate will allow her to just play, 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 play. And I had the opportunity to get a dog this Thursday, but I just had to, as bad as I want to do it, the puppy phase is a lot. It's extremely expensive and it's a lot. It's very time consuming. And while I have several neighbors with 2 and some 3 dogs, I just don't see how that's even though I have a big condo, it's really big.
Yeah.
I need a yard. I need an outside.
Yeah, you definitely got the space for it, but I feel you on that because that's a lot. That's a lot of responsibility, and then on top of that, you work full time.
From
So that'd
home.
be my thing. Yeah, from home.
It's
So I mean,
distracting. It was really tough working from home with Hazel when she was a puppy because she was crying and I was crate training her. It just was a lot. So if I had a bigger home with another room that I can kind of like work away from it so it could be a little bit more quiet and then have a backyard where they can run, pee, poop, play, do all that good stuff and really get their energy out because there is somebody in the condo below me and I always have to be considerate when Hazel is like playing and stuff because I don't want to be disruptive. But I'll circle back. I definitely will get a second dog. It's just not right now. So, all right, let's wrap this thing up.
somebody send me some money for a camera. I'm sorry to go find me.
Oh, brother, I'm sure you got camera money. You just trying to be cheap.
I got other stuff to take care of.
Put your career on hold.
I'm gonna probably just wait till my taxes and just buy it.
Oh, child.
I'm just tired of. I love stuff like Klarna and all the other stuff, but realistically, like I hate having extra bills. I'd rather just pay it out.
I used it one time on that Gucci belt, and I just did it just because. And I was
if I get some designer stuff, I definitely use Klarna all the time.
Yeah,
like, I really do. Most of my Rick Owens Klarna. I ain't afraid to say it because get what? I paid for it at the end of the day. Still, my money that I went to work for, I just don't want to give it all up at one time.
All right, y'all. It's been another episode of OD Podcast. Holla at your girl.
Holla at your twirl, and it's a chicken salad.
Superior. All right, y'all. Bye.
Bye. I low key want